Welcome to EPG Pathashala. I am K. Rajan from the Department of History, Pondicherry University. Today we are dealing with a subject on Indian culture, and the paper that we are dealing is Indian architecture, and the module that is structural temples of the Pallavas. These Pallavas introduced three type of temple architecture. One is rock cut cave temple architecture. The second one is monolithic rathas, and the third one is structural temples of Pallavas. So the main objectives for this lecture is to know about the introduction of structural temple architecture in Tamil Nadu, to understand the plan and elevation involved in the construction of the structural temples, to understand the evolutionary process involved in the structural temples, to estimate the impact of Pallava architecture in other parts of Tamil Nadu. The Mahendravarman first introduced rock-cut cave temples. On Narasimhavarman first, he introduced the monolithic Radha type of temples. And Narasimhavarman II, the popularly called Rajasimha, he introduced the structural temples. So the credit of introducing rock-cut cave temple and monolithic rathas and structural temple goes to the Pallavas. They are the very innovative kings of the northern Tamil Nadu. After the innovation of rock-cut cave temples and monolithic rathas, the outstanding achievement of the craftsman under the Pallava king Narasimhavarman II, also popularly known as Rajasimha, and his successors, is the construction of structural temples. The evidence of the structural activities are witnessed from the time of his father Parameswarvarman I. So that way he has a legacy of his father. There are Pallavas has constructed several temples, and the structural temple activity has continued for several years. So that way, another more than 1,500 years, this technique has been followed. The Pallavas has constructed these temples between 6th and 9th century AD. The early Cholas, they have, after Pallavas, after dethroning the Pallavas, they came to power in Tamil Nadu, and they also continued the structural temples from 9th to 12th century AD. The later Cholas and Pandyas also they continued this tradition from 12th to 14th century AD. And Vijayanagara Empire, again they have continued the structural temples, and Nayakas also followed. Irrespective of these structural temples, each dynasty has its own mark in the structural temples. So that way, the structural temples of the Pallavas is not continued in total or in toto by the subsequent rulers. So the structural temples begin during the time of Narasimhavarman II, called Rajasimha, and he has constructed several structural temples at Mahabalipuram, and you could see that Olaganeshwara temple at Mahabalipuram, and Sor temple again at Mahabalipuram, Mukundanayana temple at Mahabalipuram, like the famous Kailashanatha temple at Kanjipuram, and also there are several such temples he has constructed. This among them, if we consider the Sor temple is the earliest one. So that way, the Sor temple is considered as the first structural temple of Tamil Nadu. So it consists of 3 shrines with 2 Vimana. This is dedicated to Shiva. These 2 Vimana is dedicated to Shiva, and the remaining one to Vishnu. In between these 2 Vimana, we are having one shrine that is dedicated to Vishnu. The larger Vimana on the eastern side, and that is seaward side, close to the sea, facing east, is known as Kshatriya Simheshwara. Comparatively smaller Vimana, known facing west, is known as Rajasimheshwara. The Mandapa shrine, without any superstructure between these two Vimanas, had a reclining Vishnu, and it is a Pallava Vishnu Graha, what we call it, Narabadi Simha Pallava Vishnu Graha. And you could see that there are two Vimanas, the tallest superstructure, one on the eastern side, the tallest one, and the small one on the western side. And in between these two Vimanas, we are having one rectangular chamber in which we are having a Vishnu reclining position. On the eastern, the taller one Vimana, the Garbhagriha under the taller Vimana, or the Garbhagriha under the smaller Vimana, both we are having the Shiva statue. So, this way, the Kshatriya Simheshwara or the Raja Simheshwara, what we are having these two Vimanas, we are having several sculptures. And the larger Vimana of the Kshatriya Simheshwara also had the same plan of Raja Simheshwara, but it has 4 stories. So, on the plan, on the elevation, there is no difference between the two Vimana. All are symmetrical, but only the number of talas varies. So, the one which one, the Raja Simheshwara has 4 stories. The first story, Aditala, adorned with 4 crouching lions. And the second and third stories had haras of kutas and shalas, as we have seen in Dharmaraja Radha. The fourth story had 4 squatting Buddhas or blowing a conchs. So, this is a new addition in this temple. So, the prahara, the enclosure wall, what we call prahara wall, is shown with kudas in 4 corners with salas in between. So, the prahara wall of the latter days, we are not having this type of kutas and salas, but it was shown in the Sor temple of the prahara wall of the Sor temple. The central sala facing the sea is much larger than the other sala is found on the top of this prahara wall. So, scholars consider that this central part, which is projected little taller than other salas, is considered is the foundation laid for the latter Gopura. So, it is considered as a miniature Gopura. The shrine of Kshatriya Simheshwara and Raja Simheshwara contain relief panel of Somaskanda on the rear wall. The Kshatriya Simheshwara had 16-sided Sivalinga made of polished basalt directly inserted into the floor without pedestal. What we call it Avudayar, that is not found in this temple. Then if you are having another temple at Kanjipuram, Airavadeswara temple at Kanjipuram, that you could see that one, again it is having a different type of shikara. It is not an octagonal in shape. And you could see that you are having a Upapita, and above that you are having a Adhisthana, that is the base. You could see that there is a series of sculptures. Below that you are having a Adhisthana. So, the series of sculptures are found on the walls of this Airavadeswara temple. Then next one is very famous, is the temple of Kailasanath temple at Kanjipuram. It is built by Rajasimha. Again, the man who constructed the Sor temple, the same man has constructed this Kailasanath temple, and it was continued. Construction was continued by his own son, that Mahendravarman III. A Pallava inscription praising the Rajasimha in 12 verses engraved outside the main shrine. That way, it shows that this temple belongs to that Narasimhavarman II. The Kannada inscription of Chalukya King Vikramaditya II also engraved on the Mandapa pillar. So, it probably that Vadabi Konda, that is after the destruction of Vadabi by the Pallavas, that Chalukya king would have also came and invaded Kanjivaram. During that time, this inscription would have been written. So you could see the panoramic view of this Kailasa temple at Kanjivaram. You could see that at the front you are having a series of small shrines, and also you are having in the Gopura what we have seen in Kailasa Sore temple at Mahabalipuram. The central shala is little elevated than the other shala, and here it is further, the height of the shala is further raised, and you could see almost it become a gopura. So the entrance is having a gopura, and the back you are having a vimana. The vimana has four stories, 4 talas, and the plan is square with octagonal shikara and griva. So the griva and shikara, again it become octagonal in shape. The double walls of the shrine provide circumambulatory passage. So since it is made of double walls, so one can come around this Sanctum Sanctorum. So we call it as a Sandara type of temple. The 2 oblong 2-storied shrines attached to the sanctum wall on either side of the main gate. The gap between these 2 serves as Andarala. So the Andarala concept has also been introduced during the time of Pallavas. It has 4 shrines attached to the shrine on 4 corners and 3 shrines in between them. That way, all these 4 shrines had kuta and shikaras, and remaining 3 having shala shikaras. So the Kailasa temple at Kanjivaram is one of the finest temple constructed by the Pallavas, and you could see that on the walls of the Prahara walls of the Kailasa temple, you are having a series of sculptures. And the same way, you could see that later Brihadishwara temple, where you are having the perfection of the Vimana, the same type in a miniature form you could see in the Pallava times also. So we are having all these Vimanas, we are having Karnakotas and Panjaras and Shalas. The same way in the final Talas, you are having a bull to indicating of Shiva temple also represented, and you are having stupi on the top. The main Sanctum Sanctorum, that is Garbhagriha, had Somaskanda relief panel on the rear wall. It had fluted Shivalinga on the floor. The abutting shrines had various forms of Shiva. The exterior wall perfused with the several gods and goddesses. The first and the third talas stories you had haras of kudas and shalas. The second tala, had haras of panjaras. So that way the panjara and kuda and shala has differentiated in the 2 talas. So Nandi adorned all the 4 corners of the last tala. So this has been introduced in this temple at Kailasa temple at Kanjivaram. So the typical rearing line Vyala also shown at the base of the plasters and the pillars. This main entrance on the east is a gopuram that is little elevated in height than the Sore temple. This is in a shala type superstructure. The emergence of the clear-cut gopuram could be seen here, though it has started in Sore temple, but here it was very clear the gopura is emerging distinctively. Likewise, the Parivara deities, what we call Parivara Devadas, like Ganesha, Digbalas, Sabdamatriya groups, Shandesha, made their appearance for the first time. So this has been elaborated in later date temples. Along the inner side of the Prahara wall extended a series of miniature shrines with the Divitala Vimana adorning with rich sculptures of Saivite and Vaishnavite in nature. The Adhisthana part is granite and superstructure is sandstone. So as I already told you, all the Mahabalipuram temples are granite, a very hard stone, whereas the Chalukyas used the sandstone. Probably after seeing that Chalukyan experiment, he has made this base as a granite and the top as a sandstone. And another temple, what we call Vaikunta Perumal temple at Kanjipuram, built by the successor of the Narasimhavarman II. So Nandivarma Pallava Malla, he has constructed this temple and it was dedicated to Vishnu, and it is comparatively built of sandstone except in Adhisthana, as we have seen in Kailasadhana temple. The granite is in the top course and in the corners of the base. You could see it is a Vaikunta Perumal is having a 3 shrines, and you can see the top Shikara, and also you are having Nashikas, and you could see on the corners also you are having images, and the Kutas also having a sculptural representation, and you are having a Panjaras. You can see another view of this Vaikunta Perumal temple, and you could see that the pillar is circular in shape and you are having a lion base, and above that you are having that usual other features of that pillar like a Batma and Kumbha, Kalasha, Thadi. But above all, see on the above top of this pillar you are having a square shaped one plank, that is called, we are having a square plank, and above that is called Palaka, and above this Palaka, and you are having again the usual Taranga Karbal. So the important architectural feature is the 3 walls, one within the other, surround the main shrine. The most important feature of this Vaikunta Perumal temple is that we are having these walls, one within the other, surround the main shrine. The innermost wall rises to the height of the 3rd tala or 3rd story. The second wall rises to the up to the 2nd tala. The outermost wall rises to the up to the 1st tala. That way, it has created circumambulatory passage all around this Shantam and Shantoram. And you could see that there is a series of pillars or a prahara wall attached with a circumambulatory passage. Beyond circumambulatory passage, you are having a attached to the prahara some space to walk around. Another important feature of this temple is all the 3 superimposed stories. What we have shown that first wall rises up to the topmost tala, the second one up to the intermediate tala, the last wall up to the 1st tala, having a shrine or the Garbhagriha within. So each Garbhagriha will be having one Vishnu in different form. One is in standing posture, another one is in sitting posture, another one is in reclining posture. That's why we call Sthanaka Vishnu, Asana Vishnu and Shayana Vishnu. So that way 3 shrines is having 3 forms of Vishnu. So you can see the corridor between the Prahara wall and the main temple. So that way you are having a space move around the temple. This is another feature we are having here. So we are having in Kailasadhana temple, but it has been elaborated well in Vaikunta Perumal temple. The 3 surrounding walls provided 2 Pradakshina Padas. So we are having 3 surrounding walls. It gives 2 Pradakshina Padas. The inner Pradakshina Pada provided with steps access to the 1st tala. What I have told you in the Vimana, we are having a Pradakshinapada in the talas, and the inner Pradakshinapada provided with steps access to the first tala. The outer Pradakshinapada provided with steps access to the first tala. So that way one can approach to the each tala and make a worship of the Vishnu. The outer prahara surrounding the whole temple had a Vyala based pillar or pillared cluster raised on a platform. So all around this temple you are having a prahara wall, and attached on the inner side you are having a platform. In the platform we have raised a pillar. The pillar is having a superstructure. So another important feature is the series of panel sculptures narrating the history of the Pallavas from their ancestors down to the Nandi Varman II Pallava Malla is the important feature of the Vaikunta Perumal temple. This sculptural panel helps to reconstruct the history of the Pallavas. So such representation we could not see in any one of the temples of the latter times. And secondly, these Pallavas are the first time also giving the complete genealogy. So in the latter temples, whenever we are having inscription, normally it carries the names of the king, but it never carries the name of their father or grandfather. But in the case of Pallavas, the inscription at Vayalur, we are having the complete genealogy of the Pallavas engraved on the pillar of the temple at the entrance. So that way the complete genealogy or the rulers of the Pallavas could be reconstructed without much trouble. So far we have seen three type of temple architecture that have been carried out during the time of Pallavas. One is rock-cut cave temple, another one is monolithic rathas, and the third one is a structural temples. In the rock-cut cave temple, different technique is adopted to create a rock-cut cave temple. What we call it as a cut-in cave temples. In the sense, they cut the blocks from front to rear, thereby they make the cave. And it was the initial setup. And after that, the pillars also very massive and short in size, and we are having a square base that was introduced during the time of Mahendravarman I. And that has been further improved by his son Narasimhavarman I. And what he has done, in the pillar at the base we are having a lion. So the lion based pillars are considered as the introduction of Narasimhavarman I. And the entrance, earlier the entrance of the Mahendravarman time rock-cut cave temples, we don't have the Kaboda type things, and in the later Narasimhavarman time this had been introduced. And the same way the Mukhamantapa and Arthamantapa, and initial stage there is no much difference has been shown, only at the floor level it has been shown, and now the latter stage that has been clearly shown. And earlier rock-cut cave temples we do not have Adhisthana, but later rock-cut cave temples we are having Adhisthana. So that way there is a evolutionary process you could able to see in the rock-cut cave temples. In the case of, so far they have used the technology of cut-in temples, and secondly the innovative method they have introduced in the monolithic rathas. So all the outcrops they converted into a temple. So instead of going from bottom to top, they have taken in the excavation of these rathas from top to bottom. Though some of the rathas we are not having a kalasha, that means after the ritual only the kalasha will come. So normally the kalasha will not be found in many of the rathas. When you are coming from the top to bottom, and that Sigara will come first, then Griva, then Prastara or what Vimana, then we are having the roof or the Kapotas, and we are having a Bitti, the wall of the temple, then we are coming Adhisthana. So some of the temple we are having incomplete in structure, that always we have seen at the base, not at the top. Secondly, these monolithic rathas, they attempted different type of vimana. One is we are having a tala type, what we are having Dharmaraja Ratha and Arjuna Ratha, that square vimanas. And in the case of Bhima Ratha, we are having a wagon top. And we are having offside, that is Nagula Sakadeva Ratha is having a semicircular back. And if we take a Draupadi Ratha, we don't have any of these talas. What we are having, prastara we not having, hut type of structure is created. But in all the rock-cut caves, we are not having any images. Although we are having a Somaskanda panel. But in the case of Draupadi Ratha, we are having a Durga at the rear wall. So secondly, we don't have any Nandi in front of the Shivalingas. That what we are seeing in a Pandya rock-cut cave temples. And when it is very expensive, or economically it may not be viable, or it may be a long time, time consuming exercise, they would have moved from monolithic rathas to the structural temple, which is very easy to construct. So that way, the Shore temple at Mahabalipuram become one of the first structural temple of Tamil Nadu. So there are two vimanas here, and the two vimanas are identical in shape and plan, and only the number of stories varies. And another important feature of this Shore temple is the introduction of Gopura. At the eastern Prahara wall, the center Sala is raised in height. So they attempted to introduce that Gopura that we could see in Kailasana temple at Kanjipuram in a prominent way. So that Prahara wall, we are having some cloister around this main temple is also introduced in Kailasana temple. And when we go to Vaikunta Perumal temple, it is a Sandara type of temple. We are having 3 Pradakshana Padas in each story or each tala. On each tala, we are having a shrine, and each shrine we are having a different form of Vishnu in a standing and sitting and reclining position. Then further, the Pallavas have the credit of giving an inscription of complete history of the Pallavas. One, we got the inscription at Vayalur, which is giving a complete genealogy. In Vaikunta Perumal temple, the whole history has given as a sculptural panel. That is one of the greatest contribution of Pallavas. So that way, these Pallavas, after introducing the rock-cut cave temple, and they introduced the monolithic rathas, and after that, they moved from monolithic rathas to structural temples, and in the structural temples, they have made some innovation, and finally the Vimana is standardized, and Gopura also standardized, and Prahara wall has been introduced, and also finally we are having an inscriptions that gives the complete genealogy of the king. So the transformation from rock-cut cave temples to structural temples was taken place simultaneously in South India. The beginning made by the contemporary dynasties such as Pallavas, Pandyas, Chalukyas, Gangas, Nolambas, Muttarayars, Irukuvals, etc. in 7th and 8th century AD led to the formation of standardized structural temple in South India, particularly in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. The height of the Vimana and Gopura reached their highest maturity both at technological and architectural cum artistic respectively during the time of Cholas and Vijayanagara in Tamil Nadu. Thank you.